Alright, welcome to McPath Presents. I got the wrong headphones on. That's one hell of a way to start. Why is my title not right? Okay, there we go. My title did not update properly. I'm hoping you guys see the right title. We're going to start in about 1 minute. You will find in the video description a straw poll to go ahead and vote for this episode. And I will put that same link, if you bear with me a second, down in the comment section below. Now we're a little bit late because I watched the trailer and then I watched the the behind the scenes. It's a quick 5 or 10 minute behind the scenes on HBO Now. It's at the end of the episode, and it goes over kind of some of their ideas, or I'm sorry, some of the reasonings behind the choices they made. Let me pull this up and put the live screen on now. We got to slide my webcam over a touch. And then let's fix the capture window here. Bring this in so you guys can see some of the comments here. And my webcam, I guess we can shrink that down a touch. There we go. So you guys can see some of my comments. We'll look at the straw poll. Again, I will put the link to the straw poll in the comments right about now. So go ahead and vote on the episode. If you're new here, we're going to do a quick rundown. This review is actually going to be real quick. We're getting better results by keeping the Game of Thrones stream shorter. So we were about an hour and a half, between an hour and a half. We're going to try to trim them down to maybe 30 minutes to 40 minutes. This one's actually easy because you're not all over the place. It's one battle, and there's a lot of fighting, and we really don't need to go in depth with all the fighting. Thank you very much, Dustin K, for the dono. We really don't need to go in depth with all the fighting and choreography. One of the main things, like I said, go ahead and vote for that straw poll. We will go over my first impression review. Then we will go over the straw poll to see what you guys thought about the episode. And then we will go into fan feedback, opinions from y'all down in the comment section. Now, let me begin by saying I was a bit of having mixed emotions. And immediately when this ended, I knew 100% without a doubt this would be one of my favorite episodes after I put my expectations aside and return to it. We've done this with other shows before, like The Walking Dead, where your expectations will be on one thing in particular. They take a left-hand turn, and then you hear them out, the reasoning for it, and you rewatch the episode with different expectations. And it's an amazing episode. And I believe strongly, even if your expectations weren't there for this episode, I think you'll go back and rewatch this one with a different opinion. I think this is a fantastic episode. There's a number of things I loved. I got to put it at number one. One of the, maybe not number one, but at the top is the little girl going into battle, and then she gets crushed by the giant. He's just like, crush. But she used it as a ploy to get closer, to stab him in the eye. She went out like a boss, man. Good times. For some reason, I cannot see that message here. The dono. I'll check out some of the donos in a minute if I can't read them out for my first impression review. So, yeah, immediately. And here's my main disappointment right off the bat is I was wrestling with, is the Night King the big bad, or is it Cersei, or is it both at the same time? Now, the direction they went is Cersei is the big bad, which after the episode I thought, you know what, I'm cool with that. As bad as the Night King looks, I mean, Cersei and everything we've gone through with this bish and wanting her to die since season 2, 3, 4, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool with her being the big bad and the main focus for the end of the episode. I'm sorry, the end of the series. So definitely right on with that. Yeah, Tyler, I'm about to get into that right now. Tyler, thank you very much for the $5 dono. Says the Dagger Baelish tried to have Bran killed with in season 1 was used to kill the Night King. It all falls perfectly into place. Part of that was in the behind the scenes discussion. They knew for a few years now that they wanted to have Arya be the one to kill the Night King. That's what the showrunners said. And it just fit beautifully having that dagger with Valyrian steel. She has the dagger. It fits into place. And one thing I loved is, I think the buildup was, it's Jon and the Night King. And I know there's going to be some fans disappointed because you have Jon and the Night King throughout their history together. They've come face to face, and they've already had a battle before. What's that episode? One of the most amazing episodes where he pulls up the dead. He even did it to Jon in this episode as well. When the dead was surrounding Jon, for a second there, I was thinking, yo, they might burn Jon up. Like maybe something happens where they have to kill the dead, so they shoot him with fire, but Jon's there and he sacrifices himself. And then he comes out unscathed. He'd be butt naked, though, so that'd probably be a little weird. But he comes out unscathed, and then Dany is like, oh, shit. You know, I fucked my nephew. You know, it's, yeah, because it's, Dany is Jon's aunt. And so I thought that would have been a funny way to do that reveal. However, all I got to say is the pacing right off the bat, I really dig the pacing in this battle. I think they had something special, even with the misleads, with the armies and the night facing off. And then here it's Mel coming out of the dark, and it's not the army of the dead. And she came out of nowhere. I thought we'd see her in episode 4 or something. I didn't even think she'd be in this episode. As a matter of fact, that's what I used to not predict her death in my death prediction video, but I was way wrong. She shows up. She has a number of things she does. I think 3. She lights the swords, she lights the trench, and then she gives Arya that kind of pep talk, and then Arya runs off, and then she ends up killing the Night King after that. But she walks off with her job being done. Beric, I guess he was an easy prediction, but his job, Theon, he accepted his fate. That moment between him and Bran, nice little moment to close it out. You had a lot of the warriors and battle. I know that one dude, I keep forgetting his name, but he took a blade to the face, got torn up. Just so much good shit in this episode, and the pacing as well. Instead of sitting there and holding out with consistent fighting and fighting and fighting, which would get boring if you don't have important things in between every little moment. But then they take it back a notch. They go to the crypts, and then they go to Arya and the Hound and the running around and all that chaos there. I think the pacing and the storytelling was an absolute, whoops, I hit the mic, was an absolute home run. So yeah, I'm gonna say this episode is absolutely up there at a 9 for sure, maybe a 9.5 once I rewatch it and get that little bit of oomph. Again, the perfect episodes in my rating system are rare. It's only handed out for a couple episodes I even know of that are 10 out of 10s with any TV show. So being a 9 or 9.5 in my rating system is high. That is up there. I'm going to put the link to the straw poll in the comment box below. I'm going to see what you guys have to say through your super chats. We'll check out the straw poll. Check the comment box and video description if you're looking for that straw poll. And then we will dive into some of the fan feedback. Derek, right off the bat, Derek Patterson with a $2 dono. Thank you very much, homie. Which Arya poke was better, last week or this? That's gross. Good one, but I tell you what, I liked Arya's, the callback. It wasn't Arya's callback, but Arya said it. I mean, it was kind of Arya's callback. Well, remember what was it? It was either Jon, Robb, or her father. I can't remember. It might have been Jon. Didn't he give her needle and she said something about fighting and he said you just stab him with the pointy end? Or maybe she said that to somebody else before, but I like that little callback moment that was in this episode. Who else we got here? Why do I have 2? Okay, yeah. Let's see. Boom. Dustin coming in fly with the back-to-back dollar donos. Tyler, we covered that question. And then Tyler with another $2 dono says, the dragon hug to mourn Dany was heart-wrenching. Yes, I love that moment there. because I'm assuming, he could just feel what Dany's feeling in a way. Just to get general to it without explaining how she communicates with the dragons. But I get the sense that it's more of a feeling, you know what I mean? And the dragon got that feeling, and he lays down and, hugs his mother because she was incredibly distraught at that moment. I thought that was great with the dragon laying down there. Well, let's put that in the back. All right, we're going to go to the straw poll. So get your votes in now for it. I'm actually going to vote. I loved the episode. And let's see. Let me pull up my screen so I can actually shut my face down. Boom. So you guys can see. Here's the poll. We have an overwhelming 80% that loved it. 7% meh. 6% liked it. 3% disliked it, and 3% hated it. That's only 2 votes for dislike and 2 votes for hate, leaving the overwhelming majority liking this episode. If you were one of the people who hated it and you voted, or even if you didn't vote, if you want to quick put a explanation in the comment box, I want to hear from at least one person who just hated the episode. I really want to hear from at least one person that didn't like it. Where's my webcam again? Bring my ugly mug back up there. Dominique with a $5 dono. Wasn't the move Arya used to kill the Night King used once before in the past? Yes. Give me a second. And it wasn't just Game of Thrones. There was another something recently. I know they studied a Lord of the Rings movie fight scene, in preparation for this, but there was a couple movies. As soon as it happened, there was a couple movies where I was like, oh shit, that's dope. I'm trying to remember. What was one of them? It's gonna drive me nuts. I remember there's one because I made a comment on, okay, The Last Jedi was one of them, where, remember, Rey had that really stupid choreography where it was so poorly done, they had to CGI out a knife, because the guy could have stabbed her in the back, but it was poor. Anyway, Rey and the one lightsaber got caught up, and then she drops it and then grabs it and slices. But there's more. I know I've seen that particular move done on TV and in movies at least 3 other times. I mean, it's still good, but I know I've seen it before. Okay, what else we got here? All right. Yeah, and if you're talking to each other, do it normal in the chat. If you're talking to me, put at MakeAPathPresents. It highlights it in orange, as you can see on the screen. Or I ain't mad. You can throw in a super chat. That'll get your comment to pop right up. As a matter of fact, speaking of super chats, let me just check and see what's going on with that. One comment came in and there was no comment for it, so I want to see what that was. We did have one from Spin the other night. I gotta run. Peeps, great stream. Thanks, Ronnie, my boy. Love the Matt fam. Good night. Just a shout out to Spin. I think she left before we talked about her dono. Thank you very much for that the other night. Luca Blight 69, good episode. Come in and fly with a $10 dono. Shit conclusion for the Night King. Ouch. Thank you very much for the support, but you're saying it's a shit conclusion for the Night King. I was thinking about this as well because, like I said, one of my first reactions was a shudder of disappointment, just because I was thinking the Night King was going to go on to be a bigger bad, and I was thinking there was going to be more death and destruction, to be honest. I mean, there was some, death, but I was thinking it was going to be a bloodbath, like numerous characters dead, Tormund, just fucking everybody, Bran maybe, possibly, Varys, I mean, who knows, just a bloodbath. Even Arya or Sansa, somebody, you know what I'm saying? Here's the thing when it comes to the Night King. Sometimes you make a character so strong. How does Jon go one for one with the Night King when he could just call in all his army, his soldiers? I kind of feel like I do feel that the same way. All these seasons I was waiting for a good battle with the Night King and his captains or soldiers or whoever they are. You got the whites and then you got the White Walkers. And then you got the Night King, right? So the White Walkers, man, I don't know. I know we've got a little bit. It was an epic moment. Remember John, is that called Heart Home? Is that the episode where John comes around with the Valerian steel, and at the time we didn't even know that worked against the whites, and we were like, oh my God, John is in trouble. And you hear that sound, and it's like, bing, you know, and the White Walker looks at John with the, oh, fuck, you know, what is this shit? And then John just destroys him. I wanted a little bit more of that before they got rid of them, to be honest. And again, that was my little twinge of disappointment. Bran gave her the dagger because he knew she'd save him. Ooh, you know what? And again, rewatching some of this is going to be a fucking treat, because there's things that you don't remember, because at the time it was like no big deal, but now it comes all the way back around and it's great. Only thing I hate is that in Canada, HBO Go is 720. I have a 4K TV. It was horrible to watch. Ooh, that is terrible. I mean, not even in just 4K, but even having regular 1080p. I mean, ouch, that must have been... Do you have to watch that? Forgive me, but I don't have a 4K TV. I would imagine they can't upscale that. Do you have to watch it in a different, you know, resolution or size on the screen? I could just picture, you know, because with 4K TVs, I mean, obviously the screen projection is totally different, like with a monitor and a TV and everything like that. So I would imagine it'd be like this little TV inside your TV, just so you don't have to upscale it and blur the shit out. Or maybe it did that, and then that's why it looked like ass. Slizzle, 6 out of 10. Do you think the White Walkers not getting an on-screen kill did a disservice? We just discussed that a bit. I wanted a little more. Mally, liked the episode, but was really let down with certain aspects. I feel like more main characters should have died. It felt like there was some massive plot armor. Yeah, and again, we have another war coming up, and that could be what they're saving some of that for. On top of that, hold on, I'm trying to see what we have here. There's going to be a number of characters that just continue living. You know, they're not going to die. It's going to be open-ended for those characters, because they're telling this story not to kill everyone at the end of the story, but a lot of these characters will go on. Yeah, it was Heart Home. That was fire. I loved Heart Home. Slizzle, Night King ending left an awful taste in my mouth. Again, I think it's that twinge of disappointment where we had all the whites, but couldn't we have a little bit of the Night King and his goons squad coming in and doing something? Dany's armies are mostly dead. The Dothraki are gone, yeah. And for those who didn't catch that, and I didn't even catch it, I caught it after the fact, but the Dothraki were wiped out immediately. That was what that first rush was, that first wave into the black. That was the Dothraki, and they got destroyed. And that is why Dany jumped on the dragon. They weren't supposed to do that. She was supposed to sit there and wait. They were supposed to lure the Night King in and fight him, 2 dragons on 1. But when she saw the Dothraki get wiped out, something triggered in her, and she had to go fight. You know what I mean? She had to go, because that was something she cared about. So yeah, that's actually what that was. I didn't catch that at first. I was like, wait, what? I thought it was going to be a repositioning with the armies. They brought them out, separated them, and then they would come in from the side or something. But nah, it was the Dothraki just running into death and dying, you know? John didn't kill any White Walkers? No. What did you think about aerial dragon battle? I wish it wasn't so foggy. Yeah. Yeah, a bit of fog. I watched it on a little phone, though. That's the only thing I have that has HBO Now. I could have put it on the computer, I think, but I was doing stuff out in the other room. I do think the episode was 9.5, but I'm disappointed they finished the Night King that way. The fact Arya just walked past all the whites and the White Walkers, then jumped through the air. Maybe if we saw, or after the fact, or got an idea of that, maybe that would have helped with some of that. Just down converts? Yikes. I think the Night King is dead, yeah. Fred Wicks with a $5 dono. I'm sorry, I didn't even hear that. Episode was shot too dark. Do you think the Night King is really dead? Why the frack would they send a Dothraki alone like that to be wiped out? Oh, there's your thing. It was just delayed. You know what? It was just part of the strategy. I'm not really sure, because if they were luring them in, why wouldn't you? Why would you risk sending a whole wave unless the idea was go, hit and come back? Because some of them did come back. I do think the episode was a 9.5, but I'm disappointed they finished the Night King that way. The fact Arya just walked past. All right, this is where we were. Let me get caught up with the fresh convo. I thought, my god damn, TV was broke at some points in the episode. It was so blurry. You can watch HBO Go on PS4. HBO Go or Now? I have HBO Now. HBO Go is for people who have a cable subscription. HBO Now is for people who don't, and you just have internet. You know what I mean? But then again, keep in mind, John, that wouldn't have helped me. I can still watch it on my computer, and that's actually where my PlayStation is. I was doing something in the living room. I needed to watch it out there. I was helping get my daughter in bed and all that, and I even made a sandwich. So I was actually watching in the kitchen dining room area. And the only device I have that's mobile is my phone, which is usually what I watch Game of Thrones on. People are underwhelmed because there were so many complex theories surrounding the Night King, but there was nothing really to him. See, I'm glad I didn't fall for any of that. I heard some of the theories like Bran is the Night King, but my immediate wait, what? And the reason why I block a lot of that out is I think a big part of the internet is coming up with interesting ideas. I think a lot of people just get hooked on what's the most shocking or biggest twist, because as soon as people say Bran is the Night King, my immediate thought is, we know who the Night King is. We saw him get created in a flashback. You know what I'm saying? We saw it, guys. I don't know. Again, maybe the Bran theory connects those dots, but all I hear when I'm reading comments from people, repeating that theory is Bran's the Night King, because they do have a similar look. I'll admit that, but we saw who the Night King is. We saw him get created by the dragon glass in the heart, and that's the same area where Arya stabbed him. That's how he dies. And I don't know. Some of those theories I couldn't get behind, because it seemed like a shock for shock's sake, and there was no substance. Even if Bran's the Night King, what does that really do? I mean, what's the point of that? Does he kill himself? Does he know he is? You know what I mean? I don't know. Arya took a face of a walker to get close to kill the Night King. Well, here's the thing. Here's one problem I have. If that's the case, I want to see that shit. They should have had a white coming up, or a walker coming up, because I know we had the one guy turn. It was the wind, and we kind of made it look like Jon was going to fight the dragon and something was going to interrupt. But just have a walker, a white coming up. Or a walker, White Walker, whatever the hell. And then, I don't know. I want to see that. If it was Arya, I want to know if she did that. And then I kind of want to see that. I just don't think that expected the wall of complete death. No. What was Bran doing the entire episode? All he did was warg into some birds. What was the point of that? I don't know. I mean, I know a part of it would probably have to keep an eye on the battle and make sure everything's going down the way, it's going down, or to just watch. But I'm not really sure. I don't catch everything the first go around. I was assuming he was just watching the battle. Bro, imagine if the Starks come back alive in the crypt. Some did, but we didn't know who. Yeah, I talked about that the other night. Just hearing the sounds in the crypt would have been enough to make it freaky. I enjoyed callbacks from Season 1 with Arya repeating Jon told her about her sword. Okay, it was Jon and Arya, see? Red Woman and Arya about death. Yeah, that was another good one. This episode of GOT makes the best this week's cinema and TV history. This will probably be very hard to top. I know, right? How are we supposed to be excited, nervous to watch people fight each other after seeing death itself nearly defeat the human race? 10 years of hype for the Night King. Again, it's tricky no matter what direction they take, because they literally built up 2 endgame bosses, right? I mean, did they not? They built up the Night King, and they built up Cersei. And to be honest, again, as badass as the Night King looks and the idea of it, I'm a zombie fan, massive. The idea of having the last ultimate enemy being the one we are mostly connected to in a hateful way. Like, we hate that bitch. We've been with the Night King for maybe all of 5 minutes in 9 years. We've been with, and I'm talking about him being on screen and in scenes. We've been with Cersei for hours upon hours alone, just her scenes, you know? So I kind of am cool with their idea. Although I think I wanted a little more with the Night King and them. That dude, Hippie 3, with a $5 dono. My boy Sandor Clegane made no undead. Wait, my boy Sandor Clegane made no undead Hodor, but I still loved it. I don't know what that means. Sandor Clegane made no undead Hodor, but I still loved it. Say thanks for the $5 dono. Laugh out loud. Look up Littlefinger protagonist theory. Is that the one where he's still alive and he has a face on or some shit like that? Thank you very much for the dono, homie. I'm not sure what you mean by my boy Sandor Clegane made. Made it, you mean? Like he lived? I'm assuming that's what you mean. Do you think the Night King could be Targaryen? That's why he doesn't. That's why fire doesn't affect him. I didn't think that. I just thought the range of power. You know, the whites get burnt up, but he just, for whatever reason, is immune to that shit. It doesn't have a good name. Arya makes sense. The Lord of Light, the Faceless Men, and the All-Train have foreshadowed her. The Starks are supposed to end the night. Arya is the Stark that did. Oh, all right. Yeah, good point. I understand that HBO doesn't have bottomless pockets for budget, but did you find that there were too many close-up shots during the battle that made it impossible to see what was happening? You're just going to get that, yeah. You're just going to get that, though, with an army that literally pushes through without worrying about getting wounded them damn selves. No matter what, it's going to be a difficult fight for anyone to film. Don't want to be that dude, but why not just tip arrows, Valyrian steel, and pluck him in the head? Pluck him in the open. That would have been an idea. Here's another idea that during it, I honestly thought they were going to go there. You know how they showed when Jon was finally on the dragon, and they showed the, let's call them the Night King's captains, right? The Night King captains were on their horses. I honestly thought Arya or someone else was going to wander out on a solo suicide mission and then kill one of them captains, and then half of the soldiers inside, whoever they turned into whites. You know what I mean? Remember that happened before? So you kill one and a big chunk die, and then, you know, they would have some type of reconnaissance where they snuck around, where it was only a small group that did sneak around, but because of that, some of them would get killed, but then the Night King would make it in. So that way we got some stuff with the Night King captains. We had the big battle, but at the same time, we followed a smaller group that was flanking them. I thought we were going to get something like that, but we never did. I thought the same thing at the beginning, actually said out loud, wait, the Dothraki are just gone? That's a whole fucking culture just wiped out, right? Is Gilly dead? I thought I saw her die, or maybe not. I didn't see her die. I saw someone else die. Love the Jaime and Brienne fought side by side, joining that sister swords as a callback to Ned Stark's sword. Yep, Ned's sword was melted down into two swords. Yep. I know there was some theories about those sister swords or something, but I didn't get into that. Get ready for Clegane Ball. I can't wait. I'm hyped. He means Sandor made it through the episode and there was no Hodor. Well, I know the Hodor and White Walker. I just didn't know he meant, you know, he made it. I thought he was trying to say something different, but I got it at the end. What do you think, the Red Woman just walking out like that? I didn't understand it. She served her purpose. That was it. And then she walked out, took off her collar, which was, I don't know, keeping her alive, keeping her in that form, whatever, keeping her preserved. She took off her whatever, and then she just walked off and disintegrated. Targaryen aren't fireproof in the books. They only have a high tolerance of fire. Episode was fucking badass. So much emotion, couldn't handle it. Lost my shit when Arya killed the Night King. My favorite scene was Lyanna the Giant Slayer. What was your favorite scene? That's a toss-up. That was up there. I mentioned that early on in this review. That was one of my favorites for sure. That was up there. I love it. Little thing getting pulled up and just stabbing. Even though we are doing the Game of Thrones stream a little shorter, just for those who aren't aware, we are almost definitely popping another stream up behind this. That's going to be a Days Gone part 5, I think we're up to now. It'll only be another short one though, about an hour and a half. So, and that's definitely because tomorrow's Monday. Back to the grind. Anyway, Arya shut blue eyes was the clue, then went to kill Night King. Yeah, yep. The showrunners were really hoping that no one picked up on that clue, or as little people as possible, because she already shut blue eyes. She already killed a bunch of whites previously, so that could have counted. But that was one of the reminders, to go for him, or at least that's how I took it. My favorite scene was Arya closed nose, blue eyes forever, yo. Also, what the actual hell, Brandon Stark? What is the point of having you besides bait? What the fuck? I thought he was bringing in some animal, something that we didn't see before. Some type of crazy-ass polar bear, some winter beast or some shit. What the fuck, Melisandre slowly walking to the light, to light the trenches or whatever. Like, hurry the fuck up. We don't have time for this. But anyway, I love the episode. Easy 9 out of 10. MF Blush says, A Song of Ice and Fire and the show are two separate entities at this point. Just accept it. I haven't seen a single comment of anybody arguing about the show versus book, to be honest. I wonder where that comment came from, because I didn't bring it up. I don't read the book, so it doesn't matter to me. They are different. Who cares? I only watch the show. I don't read the book. Tyrion and Sansa to rule Winterfell? ? That had me thinking a little bit. Was Sansa really giving him the okay? She opening the runway? What's she doing? What do you think Bran was doing when he was warging with the Ravens? I thought he was just keeping an eye on the battlefield, but then again, he didn't do anything with it. So even if he was keeping an eye on it, he didn't help, move people into position. I like the details they put in the dead Syrian, like the blue eye, the blue fire exiting the neck where the Night King. Yeah, I like all that shit too. Do you like Melisandre's hanging with Luke Skywalker? Yeah. I like the Battle of the Bastards more. How about you? Ooh, you know what? It's probably blasphemy, but I'm going to have to say, yeah. Yeah, I think I like the Battle of the Bastards more. What was the purpose of the Night King in the series? Are we ever going to go back to old fight for the throne? I don't get it. Well, I mean, it's the Game of Thrones. The Night King, I think, in the books and that whole thing, obviously it's going to have a bigger, more extended purpose or something, I would imagine. But with the show, it's wrapping up. So it comes down to basically a war. Whether you're going to have the war happen now or whenever from now, or in King's Landing or in Winterfell, it all comes down to you have to fight him and kill him to break all the whites. So this is just how it played out. But I know he was brought to life by magic, but a lot of people really hyped it up like it was going to be this, crazy, twisted, exactly like Bran is the Night King crazy shit. But it essentially came down to this. He was an enemy, a foreign enemy trying to conquer everything in his eyes, everything that was living, and that's it. He got into a fight and he lost. He got outplayed by a girl. Don't get me wrong, I love the episode, but I'm kind of disappointed that Arya killed the Night King. I did want a Jon and Night King showdown. Again, those are my twinge of disappointments. However, I'm still hoping we get some type of badass Jon stuff coming up, and if we don't, I'm gonna feel like he kind of petered out. His story did. Slizzle, Davos, Tormund, Podrick, Tyrion, Jaime, Sam, and Brienne. Do you think at least 2 of these characters should have died? Well, that depends. If they, utilize them properly coming up, then no. Because there's more war coming up. This ain't the end of it. And for me, honestly, having characters die in the episode doesn't make the episode better. So let's say we got this episode, but Davos died, I'd still feel the same. It wouldn't change the episode. Same thing for Podrick. I'd be mad if Jamie died because that seems so out of place. Brienne, I think it would have been a little bit more emotional for me coming after everything that happened with those two characters. Ronnie, the MVP of the episode was Lyanna stabbing the giant. Laugh out loud. All right. Were you satisfied with the way Theon went out? I'm glad Bran told him. I'm glad about that, but just running up and getting stabbed just seemed a bit too simple. But I get the idea. The idea was to showcase he accepted his fate. There was no way he was beating him. People think a war was the highlight of Season 8, but there will be more in store this season, trust me. Oh, there's definitely a lot of crazy shit coming up. There has to be. What are your thoughts on how they used Jon this episode, bro? I did, again, he's part of that little twinge of disappointment. I felt like he wasn't used as much. He didn't do anything, you know? I think Theon was a distraction for Arya to come in. I mean, if it happened sooner, I would say sure, but we don't know what Arya was even doing. Was that when she was doing the White Walker shit or what? We don't know. So we have 3 episodes left. What do you think will happen to fill all the runtime recovering from battle and traveling? I'm excited to see the series wrap. Oh, absolutely. We have to have a recover. They can't go right into battle. It just wouldn't fit. It would be janky. It would, you know what I mean? So we have to have a recover and a preparation. You need to set up the story for what's coming and tell the audience how each side is going to manage what is coming up. And I think we'll get right into fighting in episode 5. Maybe between 5 and 6 it spills over, but I don't think we're fighting right up until the very, very, very end, you know? At the very least, we'll have 20 minutes of episode 6 to set everyone off on their way, you know, to kind of set everyone up and say this is what their life is this is the direction their life is headed into, you know, because we're never going to see these characters again unless HBO brings the show back in 20 years. Who do you think will yield Heartsbane now that Jorah is dead? Probably Sam, right? Makes sense. Wait, what happened there? Makes sense. The first half of the season dealing with the Night King, second half dealing with Cersei. Yeah, I mean, it's down the middle. I thought it was going to be a little layered, a little more layered, but nope, that's how they have it. Lyanna versus the Giant was so good, but the Hound overcoming his fire fear to save Arya was the best. Yeah, that part I liked. I did want a little bit more because they kind of gave a little bit of a break in between, but I liked that part. Dude, guys, coming in with a $5 dono. Sorry if I been too much of a troll, got into arguments and shit. You mean a lot to me, and I'm going to be mature. Well, that was fucking awkward and out of nowhere. But I appreciate the support, and I appreciate the you must have been a troll in something I have no idea about, bro. You probably shouldn't have mentioned it. I never would have known. But I appreciate it, homie. Thank you. So if we're continuing with the Arya Eyes theory prophecy, she'll also be the one to kill Cersei. Walter had brown eyes, Night King had blue eyes, Cersei had green eyes. I don't know, bro. I think that's overkill to have Arya be the one to take out the Night King and Cersei. That's a bit much. Why did they not set Jon on fire? He's fireproof, isn't he? Well, some people are saying it's not fireproof, it's a fire tolerance, so to speak. I don't think they showcased that very good in the show. I thought it was fireproof as well. Because she even explicitly says fire can't kill a dragon. And she said that to gold being melted down on top of him, which means you can't get burnt. You know what I'm saying? Her brother had gold, hot melted gold, dropped on his head, and it killed him. But she said he's no dragon. You know, fire doesn't hurt dragons. So therefore, she can't even get hurt by anything hot. You know, no metal, no gold, liquid metal, fire. They didn't make it seem like it was just a tolerance. How did Dany survive on her dragon when they were 100 whites on driving? Well, she fell off before all the whites got on. They made it seem like they were slowly coming up, you know what I mean? To get on, she got knocked off, and then the dragon went in the air with all the whites. Wasn't Bran warging Theon? What? When he went beast mode, killing all those whites? Wasn't Bran warging Theon? No. When he went beast mode killing? No. That was all Theon. The creator of GOT said that the spin-off show would delve deeper into the mythology of the White Walkers. This is a paraphrase, sorta. Well, that's interesting. I wonder how that's going to work, because I don't care about them anymore. If they're not playing a role in the story, I really don't care about them. Maybe setting up some backstory and revealing more? Yeah, maybe I listen to that. Cersei got off too easy. I enjoy seeing her run from fear from something. Yeah. Yeah, the beginning with the Dothraki was epic. Arya jumping on the Night King was like when Shiva jumped on Negan when he was about to kill Carl. Yeah. Wait, where'd that go? Imagine you've literally just destroyed the most powerful entity in the world along with 100,000+ dead soldiers, and now you have to go fight a blonde bitch who thinks she's the shit. I know, right? I gotta pull this screen up. For some reason, it's not showing me the comments coming in. Bum. Here we go. Oh, we did have a couple. Why? Wait, this has to be from something else. Okay, there is no new ones. It's showing me everything coming in. Good. We're on track. Let me make sure I didn't skip any. Fred Wicks with a $2 dono. Too much wasted time flying dragons around, question mark. Nah, a part of it was about the dragons going 2-on-1, so I'm not really worried about wasted time with that. There was so much involved in this episode. I'm good with it. Where is that last dono? Chris Stanley with a $10 dono. Who do you think will kill Cersei? Jaime, Sansa, Arya, Tyrion? Cersei was on Arya's list after all, and she killed everyone on it so far. Thanks for the Aftershow review. Thank you very much for the dono and support to help keep this going, brother. I think Arya is just too much. She's got the Night King. I think it's someone else. Listen, I want Jon to get some epic shit. I gotta say, I don't know about killing Cersei, but having Sansa involved in some type of way. Maybe Cersei, the last thing she sees before she dies is, Sansa there. Like, I want Sansa present for that. All the torment at the hands of this woman. Yo, I want Sansa there. Keep in mind, if Clegane is going to go after... I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know. And how do you kill Cersei without it seeming like... like fighting she's weak and helpless. Once she's defeated, do you just take her prisoner? Who kills her? I kind of feel like Jaime. Poetic would be Jaime. Like, think about it. Who kills her? Does Jaime kill them both together somehow? You know what I'm saying? With the kiss of death. Does Jaime do it with that kiss? She did the kiss with, what's her name? Because Marcella, you got what I'm saying. The sand snake crap, which... that's a discussion for another day. What do you think about Tyrion betraying Dany theory? No, I don't like it at all. It doesn't fit his character. I think you skipped mine. I don't know, Sam. I probably did. I can't get to every single question on here, bud. I mean, I'll try, but yeah, I don't know, homie. I could try to scan up quick, but yeah, I'm not seeing it. Unless you didn't mark it. If you didn't mark it, yeah, you might want to ask again. If you asked again right here, wherever your comment went to, if you asked again right here, I would have seen it. Yo, Pear, so Bran knew what was going to happen, so that's why he gave the dagger to Arya. That's what I'm thinking. Jon needs to do something epic in the next 3 episodes. Agreed. Yeah, I thought the Hound was off Arya's list. Ronnie, what the hell happened to Ghost? Are we to assume killed? That's a good question. Ghost was with the Dothraki charge. Yeah, I'm going to say dead. Wait a minute. No, did Bran... see if Bran warged. Why didn't he warg in the Ghost and try to help fight her? something. Does Dany even have troops to fight Cersei? A lot less now. Some of the Unsullied did fall back. It's not like they were all wiped out. Not that I know of. It has to be Jaime or Tyrion. Maybe it's Tyrion and Sansa. Do you think it's possible? Could be Tyrion and Sansa in some way. Sansa and Jon got Ramsay, so I think it will be Jaime and Tyrion. Maybe Arya or Sansa. Who do you think? Bran will still be a three-eyed raven? Yeah, isn't that the point? Also, I kind of think in every battle Jon has fought, he needed help to win. That's why he's not so arrogant like Dany. Yeah, maybe. I mean, she got a wake-up call when she fell off her dragon. Holy fuck, she needed help. Sansa and Jon got... Okay, I already read that. Jaime's hand should have been replaced with a hand made of dragon glass. Right? I would have done that. I would have stuck a fucking piece of dragon glass right in there. Yeah, Tyrion foreshadowed he would tear Cersei to pieces after the battle. Yeah, there's that, but there's also her happiness is gonna turn to ash in her mouth or some shit like that. Remember when he said that about his old girlfriend? Ghost is in the preview for next episode, So Alive. Ooh, there we go. Is the second dragon still alive or dead? Yes, because he looked like he was dead, but I think you see the color dragon in the promo. Yeah, if they killed a dragon, I believe they would make it very, very clear. So I think they're both alive. But one is wounded pretty good, I think. I think Arya will fulfill her list by killing the Hound out of mercy after the Clegane Bowl. That is definitely a possibility. How did Grey Worm not die? Kyle Nelson with a $5 dono. Thank you very much, homie. So, what about the dead Starks coming back to life, yo? Nobody seems to be talking about that. Are you talking about the ones that crawl through the wall? I'll be honest. I thought that was just, the regular-ass whites that crawl through the wall. But it makes sense that they crawled out of their tombs if that's the case. I think that's pretty damn cool. But again, these are Starks that are so old and dead. Every Stark that we know of, the main ones, Catelyn, Ned. I think Ned was just bones when she got him. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's cool. You know what I mean? Because he came. And this is another thing people skipped over. When everyone said that the dead would rise from the crypts, people just said that just because I think the Walking Dead seeped into their brains. Just because they were dead and the Night King was around, they would rise. But the Night King actually has to summon it, and it takes a moment. And I think he needs to be kind of close. So while he was there, he summoned it, and then that brought him back. So if they were the ones, then yeah, it's a couple Starks that came back. But it wasn't any we knew, and I think that's where the oh shit comes from. Like if it was Ned coming back, holy fuck. But it's just a couple Starks down the line that we don't know anything about. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Still creepy though. Kyle Nelson, thank you very much for the dono, homie. K Bo J with a $10 dono. Tormund still gonna get his girl, and my man Bronn still gonna get that castle. Cheers, Matt fam. You keep in mind, thank you for the dono, homie. Keep in mind, we still gotta do this Bronn, Jaime, Tyrion stuff coming up. You know what I'm saying? Still gotta handle that. But let's double check the poll before we close this out. I'm still feeling good about the episode. Again, I still have that twinge of disappointment. I'm not letting it take over, because if I just sat back with no expectations and looked at the show, this episode, for what it was, there's a lot I did like. And I think the little girl and the giant is probably up there as one of my favorite moments from this episode. Just a little badass moment. The more I'm thinking about it, I'm cool with everything. I just wanted a little more, like a little less of the whole battle and fighting, or maybe even dragons like someone suggested, and giving us a little more with the Night King captains having a fight or two, even one fight, something, you know? I think that's my complaint. It looked cool. They came in the battle. I wanted them used in some way. We're still at 76. It fell a little bit. We're at 76%. Loved it. 10% liked it, 8% meh, 2% disliked it, and only 1% now hates it. Still only 2 votes for hate and 3 votes for disliked. So we're getting more people voting for like and meh, it looks like, and the loved it is still holding out strong. And you guys can't even see that on your screen. That's wonderful. Anyhow, any last good questions you guys got, and then we'll shut her down? Do you think it was out of character for Arya to be so scared of the whites? No. It is a combination of cracking the shit out of her head and getting a little tipsy, you know, taking a good bonk on the dome twice. Don't forget, she fell down, boom, and then she got up, and then she got her head cracked off of cement. A combination of that and simply being overwhelmed. And if you think about it, being overwhelmed with the whites, that's not something that like, that's a big deal, and that led into the focus on the one, the Night King. But again, I was cool with it because they did explain it, because she did take such a hard hit, it just threw her off her game a bit, and then she was surrounded at that point. There's no way, no matter how good you are, you're not fighting 50 whites in a hallway. They're just gonna bum rush you. That dude Hippie 3 with a $10 dono, you're a genuine. You are genuine and doing a good job. Keep it up with chat. I hope Jaime kills Cersei. Bro, I want Aegon and Dany to go crazy for the throne. Go ham on each other like Frodo and Gollum fighting over the ring. Damn. Ouch. Bloody. Bloody, bloody. I'm good with Jaime killing Cersei. I'm cool, but Sansa needs to see it, be there, put it into action or something. I need my girl Sansa to just give her that smirk, like, bitch, I'm here at the end of it. You know what I mean? For what she put Sansa through. I hated Sansa until, is it Sansa? Does it matter? I hated her. And then everything she got put through, I was like, not getting put through, but her growth as a character as well. I was like, yo, I want her to kill Cersei. Or just at least be there and give her that smug smirk. The smirk that the Night King made after surviving Dany's dragon's fire made the episode for me. Yeah, right? He was like, bitch, please. This feels like The Last Jedi. We were disappointed, but we don't want to admit it. Nah, no way. Not even close. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I mean, not even a tiny bit. There's a really big difference between, you know, loving what you got and wanting more, and then being like, what the fuck did they do? You know? I want something different altogether. With The Last Jedi, it was a complete and utter train wreck. Beric and Red Woman both died right after they needed to. Both played a part in getting Arya to kill the Night King. I sent you a PayPal. Tiffany, why did it not pop up? I'm sorry, it might have popped up here when I was a bit distracted. Let me close this out and pull this up. Okay. Oh, there we go. It was, this is why. Tiffany coming in fly with the $40 dono. Damn, thank you very much for the dono. Helping us to do what we do every freaking week for The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, and maybe something else cool coming up in between those. Hey, Ronnie, did you notice when Jon walks into the castle, he ignored Sam when he clearly needs help? It was a quick shot, but it was there. Embracing Targaryen roots, ? Angry with Sam for causing friction, even though it's true, ? Or I just don't have time for this, ? I took that as there's just no time. I didn't take it as this. Sam's in immediate danger, because he's always going to be. They all are. Jon literally walks by, and again, I could be wrong. This is just how I saw it. And he's not looking at people who needed to be saved right then and there. He's looking at all these people who needs to be saved at once by killing the Night King. That's what I got from those scenes. I know the Sam one seems a bit little more dire because it looked like Sam was about to die and he's screaming, ah. But they were showing him do that with a few people. He looked up, these people are, and I got the feeling that it was like, all these people will die if I don't get to the Night King right now. That's the vibe I got. But again, I could be wrong on that. Just because that's what I feel doesn't mean I'm right. What else we got here? Did we get something else? Let me check here. But you guys let me know what you think. Do you think the same thing, or do you think he was mad at Sam? I don't get the feeling he was mad at Sam. I don't know. I don't know if that would fit for me. I don't know if that would be a good fit. Cersei is the smartest person right now. She deserves the throne. While those idiots were fighting the dead, she was chilling in the sun. Laugh out loud. Wow, that's not even all. That's not even at all. It's not even at all true. And keep in mind, if Jon and them said, let's go behind Cersei, or, you know, past Cersei, and then let her deal with the Night King first, bro, and then the Night King destroys her because he'd tear right through them, the Night King would have an army so big there's no stopping him at that point. There's just no stopping him. They did the only thing they could have done, you know? Cersei's just really going to regret not helping. The Night King didn't really use his dragon. He could have burnt all of the Winterfell down right away. He probably could have used it more. You know, do you think the Hound and the Mountain will have a rematch? Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I feel like the Spoils of War battle is underrated. You know what? I like all the battles, but I think Battle of the Bastards is one of my favorites. Hearthelm, which one is it? Hearthelm, right? That's another one. It's hard to rate them. I love them for different reasons, you know? He was just trying to get Bran. He also walked past Jaime and Podrick. I don't think he was just straight up ignoring them. Exactly. I saw it as the whole everyone's in danger, you know? Rick Grimes should have killed the Night King. Yeah. All right, last question. Let's close this down. In 10 minutes, we're going to pull up Days Gone, another live stream. It's a video game that covers a apocalyptic world, a post-apocalyptic world with these creatures called freakers, kind of like zombies, but they're still alive. They're fast, and the game is amazing. If you're into some video games, even if you're not, and you're a fan of that genre, the game is worth every cent. I cannot talk highly about this game enough. The story isn't all The Last of Us, you know what I mean? It's not like gonna grip you and make you cry. For some of you it might, but for me, I think the story's just okay, but the game itself, the world is so gorgeous and beautiful. Oh my god, if I was on drugs, I'd probably forget I was even playing a game and I'd be there, you know? It's just a great game. I can't praise it enough. Did you talk about where and why Bran warged? Kinda. We tried talking about it, but I don't understand it. I don't understand. Listen, he warged into the birds, but I was thinking he did it to try to get some strategy, you know? And then next thing you know, Night King was there, and I was like, okay, he warged into some like winter beast, like some wolf or some bear or something, and he's gonna come in and it's gonna shake things up. But no. Yeah, most people agree tonight was phenomenal. Definitely. Do you think Tyrion and Sansa will be a couple? I don't know. That came out of nowhere for me. Maybe. Melisandre was more useful than Dany and her dragons. Ouch. The real question is, how the hell did Grey Worm survive all that? He's a beast, bro. Dominic with a $10 dono. I agree with you saying Jon walking past everyone to kill the Night King to save everybody, but him just feeling too helpless and trapped and unable to get where he needed to. There you go. Thank you very much for the dono, homie. Ronnie, really all about Days Gone. Shutting down a bigger stream for it is kind of crazy. No. I explained this earlier. The stats show that the Game of Thrones one is not doing well when it's a long stream. I'm going by stats, brother, not that. When it's a long stream, after about 45 minutes, everyone, it looks like this. It's rocking. Around 45 minutes, woo, you know, everyone jumps ship. You know, we could have 500 people. I think that's fantastic, to be honest, for a stream. We could have 500 people here. For me, I think that's fantastic. But you know, we're all hanging out, we're chilling, it's flowing, but then once the video goes up, it just plummets. Then it's in the algorithm less. I mean, the other Game of Thrones videos are just doing let's be honest, they're doing terrible. Which I knew there'd only be. We'd probably only get less than 10,000. I mean, we had 10,000 last. I don't cover Game of Thrones all the time. It's only when it's on. I don't do prediction videos. So there's a lot of different factors, but yeah, I can't ignore the stats. Will Sam be pissed that Jon straight up left him to die at the end? No, we covered that. I don't think it was like that at all. Cersei will go pee-pee pants city? Hells yeah. She's going to go pee-pee pants city. Fuck yeah. So Beric's whole purpose was just to save Arya. Yes, and then she killed the Night King. But she was using Jorah as bait and stabbing them when they stabbed Jorah. Yeah. It kind of did seem like that. It was meant to be like, you know, they're fighting, Jorah gets stabbed, so he's weak, so she stabs them. But it definitely seemed like, stab this fucker, you know? Even Arya has to run from death. Hope you get back into Fear the Walking Dead. We need you. Ouch. Listen, we're going to be here every Sunday. We're here every Sunday for at least an hour. I will do my best to try to watch some of it, but it's going to be like an open discussion, even if I talk about it. You know, it'll be an open discussion. I am not reviewing it. It's not priority. If I miss the episode, I miss it. But like I said, we'll be here. So if people want to talk about it, we're going to talk about it. The whole episode, I couldn't wait to get to play Days Gone. Nice. They should rebuild Winterfell and make Cersei pay for it. Absolutely. Do you see a happy ending with Jon and Dany together on the throne? I mean, it's possible. Tyrion and Sansa together and Arya as the little hit girl. Yeah, I think a happy ending's absolutely possible. You had so much misery. For the TV show, I can see them doing that. Paying back so much of the dark with a little bit of light at the end. But maybe not for all the characters. I think it has to do with how late the stream is. People have to be up early on Monday. John, that's absolutely a very good point. And keep in mind, I'm not saying, boo-hoo-hoo, no one's watching me. You know, if you guys only want it, well, let me say this. There's always going to be someone who says, I want a 5-hour stream. But if the majority is happy with a 45-minute, quick to the point stream where we do a 10-minute review and then, 35 minutes of the fan feedback, if the majority is happy with that and it does good, then that's fine. That's cool. Besides, all streams don't have to be 2 to 3 to 4 hours. I mean, I get it. It's fun. We get a lot of people that are always saying, do it 5 hours, do it 5 hours. But it's usually a sliver of people out of the thousands that watch that want it long. You know, a lot of people, usually if it goes real long, they'll ask to cut out the main points, the stuff that just, you know what I mean? Which I get it. I get it. If you have one channel constantly doing long streams, it makes it really difficult to catch a lot, especially if you want to watch it, a lot of it. So at this point in time, who do you think will predict? Who am I thinking is going to get the Iron Throne? Real prediction now. Iron Throne. Sansa will never leave her people. She has to stay in Winterfell. But she wants to rule her people, so that's a no. She's ruling her people. Jon and Dany can rule it together. Why not? I mean, well, they are kind of related. I'm torn between Jon and Dany. I don't know. And this isn't what I want. If it was just what I want, Jon's my favorite Jon. It's down to what I think they'll do. They have built Dany up as a good leader or as a character you're supposed to love and follow and respect. So I feel like in a way, they want the majority to be on Dany's side for taking the throne. We're going to end there with that last prediction as Dany. And that might be too obvious as Dany ended up on the throne. Part of me does feel like that's too obvious. But, I mean, either one of them is too obvious. Jon and Dany, it's got to happen in some twisted way. Or unless the throne gets destroyed some other way besides the Whites. I thought the Whites were going to destroy the throne. That's not happening. Podrick can't die. He is a bit magical cack. Yeah, I know. I thought it was his tongue that was magical. I just don't want you thinking people are dropping off because they are unhappy with content. It's a great stream, just late for some. Oh, John, I appreciate that, definitely. And I agree with that. You know, I got to get up first thing in the morning like everyone else. You know, I got a kid to send to school every morning. So, yeah, bright and early. So I understand fully. You can't have these long streams, especially going back to a work day. So, all right, guys, thank you very much for everyone's support, hitting that like button, showing up, chit-chatting, being a part of the community here. The donos, the super chats, the awesome comments all around. We will be here for sure next Sunday for Game of Thrones episode 4. Damn, 4, 5, 6, 7. And wait, no, there's only 6. 4, 5, and 6. The last 3 episodes of Game of Thrones ever with this cast. Ouch, I'm gonna cry. I'll miss the show for real. However, 10 more minutes, give or take, and we will be jumping back with some Days Gone for about an hour and a half. So I hope some of you who are maybe kind of curious about Days Gone, definitely check it out maybe, or at least a little bit. Maybe if you don't have time tonight, some other videos that are up on the channel. If you're into video games, again, even if maybe you're not fully into a lot of games, I'm telling you what, it's a beautiful world. I highly recommend this game. I absolutely highly recommend this game. I think the gameplay itself, the story isn't going to grip everybody, but the gameplay itself is worth it. And I don't see enough people, I feel, hyping this game up. I think it's just fun. All right, thank you very much, Matt family. I'll see you next Sunday. And for those coming back, I'll see you guys in 10 minutes for some Days Gone.